Oh, this episode makes me
Okay, that's what you were saving your voice for. I literally thought, because you were like, do you know what you're gonna say to start this? And I was like, nah, you go. I literally thought for a second your whole thing was just gonna be ugh. This is showstoppers, everybody. And Undercover Brony is back to recap segment by segment after all these various weeks of talking about these old pony episodes. This could potentially be my least favorite episode, even eclipsing Dragon Shy and Sonic Rainbow. Like I said, segment by segment, there was almost nothing in this episode there was nothing in this episode above good.
Yeah.
There was nothing in this episode that was great or really stand out. It even had a song that I don't care how intentionally bad it's supposed to be, is a contender for -5 stars.
Even though it's full-on glam rock.
There's glam rock, then there's this, okay? There's no way. Think of the worst glam bands you could think of. Slaughter, Cinderella, the first 4 Pantera records, early Alice in Chains. There's no way they're worse than this.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to explain something right here. You were talking about how there's nothing that sticks out. There's things that stick out, but they're not for the right reasons. They're for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Last episode, Stairmaster, I at least sort of praised the season because I thought that the characterization of the CMC was a lot more mean-spirited, especially with hindsight, with how endearing they would become in later seasons, starting with Sleepless at Ponyville, and honestly, and even realistically, starting with the journalism episode next season. You know, the last episode, while it felt like they were strictly meant to be 3 annoying character archetypes, I at least gave them credit that while it wore out its welcome, it was at least a little charming. Not this episode.
No.
This episode is 20 minutes of just
kid fuckery. Let's just call it that.
I'm trying to look at my arm spasming, dude. I'm trying to figure out a way to work in apple of the horse's mouth. Isn't that apple? I don't know. Point is, these horses should have ate some apples and shut up.
Mm-hmm. So this episode starts off with the fact that Applejack is showing them the clubhouse, and it needs a lot of work. Now, one thing I'm going to say before going further, with my voice right now, I got a cold, so yeah, that's why my voice kind of sounds a little hoarse. I
will buy a plane ticket. I will find where you live, and I will chop you.
Okay, then we'll have another Three's a Crowd. Okay. So, but I do like one of the lines here, and it's literally where it's like, and Applejack's just like, oh, it just needs a little TLC. And Scooter's like, TLC is a tender living care or totally lost cause. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I know. I thought that pony was going to dab for a second, except I don't think dabbing was invented in 2010. Wait, did this episode come out in 2010? This is the 18th episode?
Yes.
Yeah. This is, I believe, 2010 still.
Yeah, because October 10th was when the original 2 episodes came out.
Right.
So it's either late 2010 or very early 2011. But you can definitely tell this is a season 1 episode. There's a lot of episodes from the earlier seasons, especially season 1, that are absolutely cringe-worthy to watch. They're a chore to watch.
Not to mention, here's one of the key moments. Jumping ahead real quick, this show had the freaking temerity to have Twilight say the line, "My Little Ponies."
Twice.
I thought to literally, I'm watching that, right, and I'm like, this doesn't. It does. It. Why is that a term for no? Stop it. It doesn't work. You notice that they only did this in the episodes Lauren Faust wrote?
Yeah.
Or in the seasons that she was here? Because they do that again in the season 2 premiere, I think. Doesn't Shirley call him that?
I think so.
Look, it doesn't matter. Like I said. So, okay, let's go through the plot here. So it's like you said, they show them the treehouse. And then I think it's the title sequence. So they're at school.
No. Well, here's the thing. I literally just sat through this again because let me just say, this is one of the most forgettable episodes in the entirety of season 1. And I literally went to make sure I could jog my memory.
How much stuff did you forget?
Almost everything. The only thing I remembered was the fact that they had that William Anderson piece where they're going around town with their cutie marks. And then the Showstopper song. That's it. I didn't remember jack shit.
The best thing about this episode isn't even that. It was in 2012 when I was at Mayhem Festival and I met another brony there who was wearing a Celestia shirt, but it was designed to look like
Mayhem Festival?
At Mayhem Festival. It was of Celestia, but have you ever seen Slayer's logo? With the eagle? With the eagle? Yeah, she's the eagle. And in the pentagram made out of the swords, instead of Slayer, it says My Little Pony, but with the font. And he told me about his YouTube channel where he did straight up a power metal version. So think frickin' think Ronnie James Dio or Iron Maiden type of crap. And he was like, yeah, I did a power metal version of this song. So if you like it, and I'm like, okay. And that thing that was made by the fandom was the best thing about the episode. He also had a really cool song about the season 3 premiere. I forget the name of it.
Wait a second. Is this the guy that you showed me that song, and it was the Crusaders in Templar uniforms?
Yes.
Dude, I didn't know you knew the guy.
Yeah, I thought I mentioned that. Yeah, no, I met him at Mayhem, and he was
fucking
like
metal, dude.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, dude, I like the pony shirt. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, I've met like 12 other people here, and this is Mayhem Festival. And like, yeah, there's the teeny boppy metal bands like As I Lay Dying at the time that all the kids were there for.
As I Lay Dying is awesome, dude.
No, not As I Lay Dying. No, they're fun. I'm thinking of Asking Alexandria.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
As I Lay Dying was cool.
Is As I Lay Dying a fucking screamo band considered teeny bopper?
Well, what I mean is that it was bands like, they had all the oh my god, but all the goth girls like them.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. I tell you what, I don't care what anyone says. There was a point where goth kids were the coolest people. Like they rode the skateboards, and they could beat asses. But this is the one thing our generation got wrong, is they made goth kids look wimpy.
Yeah, I'll say this. And okay, I need to find this real quick because it's funny as hell. So I have a friend that he was a friend of mine. He lives in like South Dakota now, but he was a good friend of mine in high school. And I showed him August Burns Red.
Huh.
You remember the song Truth of a Liar?
Yes.
Okay. when I started playing that, he literally went like this and started dancing all fucking like Latin style. He's just like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Just like it, because to him it sounded like it was like Scottish or something.
Oh my god. That kind of reminds me. That kind of reminds me of my buddy I work with in music, Dylan. He has a simple rule about writing his guitar riffs. He says, "Bro, you have to be able to headbang and do the Charleston." And he said, "That's when you know you've got a banger of a riff." I'm like,
Speaking of the Charleston, or yeah, speaking of the Charleston, did you see the new Aladdin trailer where the magic rug
"Oh,
is doing the Charleston?"
You mean literally the only good trailer they released?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that one. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to go see it now.
It actually almost made me want to go see it. I'm trying so hard to boycott these live action Disney movies because I want them to focus on the animated movies and hopefully one day make 2D movies again.
I see what you mean.
But I mean, obviously, I'm just one person, but there's a lot of people that believe that way. Anyway, we got off topic. Let me go back. So,
yeah.
Kingdom Crusaders. So they're trying to do a whole bunch of crap to find their passion in life. Which I need to ask you something. Isn't it kind of weird that? And I know this is a question. This is going to sound like a question the fandom's talked about forever. But don't you find that it's almost a pox arbitrary that they're trying to find their passion in life, and never mind that the last episode teased what the things they're great at as, but like it kind of doesn't. Is there? Do you think there's a difference between doing something you're good at and pursuing your passion? Because like, say Sweetie Belle's good at singing, but that's not what she's passionate about, type of deal, you know?
I can see what you mean. However, for the most part, from what I've seen in life, is that your passion lies in a lot in what you're good at. Like for me, my passion is mental health. And I have a passion for it, and I'm actually pretty good at it. I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm pretty good at it. Now I could definitely see what you mean in terms of like artists where they're not very good, but they do have a passion for it, so they want to keep going. So in that case, I see it. But outside of that, it's kind of a gray area.
The point is that it's really ridiculous because like these girls are literally doing whatever things until some freaking magic tattoo appears on their ass, and then suddenly they're like, okay, this is the thing that I will now do forever and ever and ever. But with the Cutie Mark Crusaders, it's with them that's the only time that cutie marks seem to be taken literally. With everybody else, the cutie mark seems to have more of a I just had the big word in my head, but it seems to have more of a symbolic meaning than anything else. There's intricities to it. With the Cutie Mark Crusaders, literally, if their cutie marks didn't end up being what they ended up being in the mid of season 5, it's like what if Apple Bloom's thing was juggling from the cutie pox disease? You know, that was like the first one, right? So like, you know, or what if Scootaloo, her cutie mark was like a skull and crossbones and a shovel because she's a good at digging graves. I mean, like, it just seems kind of weird.
Is she replacing what's the dude that drives Gravedigger? In
what is that
Monster
name?
Jam? I'm thinking Tom Mintz, but I'm like, no, that's Max D.
I just like to think that that's just Dale Earnhardt's ghost.
Right. But one thing I'm going to say, you were saying it's symbolic. All I'm going to say is symbolism. But secondly, I'm also going to say the way you framed it, where cutie marks are taken literally with these characters, they're trying to find a fucking job. Like, seriously.
Oh, God.
They're literally going through and they're like, okay, let's interview for this and let's apply to this and let's find out. what our job is gonna be.
Oh God, that you know what? That actually is less of a stretch than the idea that Aquaman had a subplot that was pseudo about border control. But that I'll save that for another time. So they find out about the school talent show.
After doing that montage, and one thing I love, like they do a couple things, like they do one where it's like feeding the pigs or this like weird card game thing, and the best one though is where they're at the carousel boutique and they're doing hair, and then and this this one pony runs out with a rainbow afro, and the sound effect that's made is like this young toddler crying as she's running out, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Apple Bloom was actually really fucking cute though when she was waving the bell with her mouth.
So this is how TV tropes describes what happens next.
Okay.
So their idea is they're gonna put together an act that will lead to them earning their cutie marks. This is a quote. Things go badly when the girls branch out from what they know they're good at and do what they want but are no good at. For thought. Apple Bloom, who's good at fixing things but feel that's too mundane, develops choreography with badly incorporated karate moves. Sweetie Belle, who has an ear for music and a wonderful singing voice, is prone to stage fright, so she makes the costumes in the set, which results in a mess. And Scootaloo, who, and I completely forgot that they teased this with her, this is a quote, a great dancer and acrobat, which, we knew the acrobat part, but a great dancer who wants to sing in a rock band, writes the music and lyrics, resulting in a wreck of painful rhymes. And then there's a quote from Scootaloo where she says the line, "We fight the fight, walk the walk, talk the talk, and eat the food like a celery stalk."
Sunshine, celery stalks.
So... And it's like...
Hashtag Pinkie Pie swear. I want to see more of his shit.
I need a brain massage, dude, because I haven't seen this episode in years. I am so struggling to remember what happened between the intro and the actual show itself.
Well, I'll say this.
The only thing I remember is I think this episode, Apple Bloom karate dive kicking the bag.
You know, the funniest thing is it reminds me of a comic that it was you know the old saying that you can't rhyme anything with orange?
I'm sorry, I completely spaced. Did you ask me if your ass looks orange?
No.
Oh, ask your question again.
Okay, I said, do you know the old saying of you can't rhyme anything with orange?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the first tongue twisty things people teach you.
There was a comic that was Zakora, and she was going, Applejack with coat of orange. Fuck.
Oh, man. Orange. Put the orange in the porridge. Nah, that's a homophone. I think that's what that is. I don't know, dude.
Stop being a homophobe to the phones. There could be gay phones. You don't know.
Yeah, other phones ring, 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 ring. Gay phones ring, ring, baby. Okay, so when the night of the talent show arrives, the Cutie Mark Crusaders put on a very enthusiastic and ambitious but very bad hair metal performance with including offbeat singing, clumsy dancing, collapsing props that lead to them getting laughed off stage, and worse yet, they didn't even get their cutie marks. The only thing missing from this was something being set on fire. I have no idea how something didn't spontaneously combust during this freaking train wreck. Well, now, I understand it was important to the story that their thing be intentionally bad, And Lauren Faust even said in an interview that when she was talking to Daniel Ingram, you know, she gave him some basic notes about how it should sound bad, and he made it even worse.
And Madeline Peters literally made her singing, because apparently Madeline Peters can actually sing.
No, she actually has some pipes. If I'm not mistaken, is she not Sweetie Belle's singing voice?
No, that's Michelle Creeper.
Michelle Creeper. That's
yeah.
right.
So Appleboom's and Sweetie Belle's singing voice are the same.
Hey, remember when Equestria Daily? Well, not Equestria Daily. Remember when Everfree Radio had a YouTube channel and they posted interviews from the conventions, and they had to start banning people on their website and YouTube channel because people were being pervs with the prepubescent girls.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
I was there for ground zero for that. I remember pointing a few people out to admins even.
There you go.
Because, hey, you know what? This is America, but you're not free to... You know, I'm thinking of all the ways I could rhyme with that, and they're all
America,
bad, so...
fuck yeah. Coming around to save the motherfucking day, yeah.
So, at least one bright spot in all this, though. The girls won an award for Best Comedy Act. Wah, wah, wah.
They should have won best costumes, because
they should have.
Their costumes are actually good.
Are you serious? I've seen Steel Panther with more subtle costumes.
Oh, come on! At least they're out there, but in the best of ways.
Oh no, they're not out there. They're out there.
It's not a blue Prius. It's more of a blue Prius.
It's a blue Prius. Yeah, dude. Anyway, that's the episode. What more do you want me to say? Actually, I could think of one thing to say. This thing... What did I give Three's a Crowd?
I think like a 6.
Okay, bump that down to a 5, because this is getting a 5.5.
Okay.
I know it's like 18 years too late to change my score on that episode, but, you know, yeah, I refuse to put anything lower than that. Okay, so if going through all this, I'm trying to think of what's next. If Mare-Do-Well is somehow even worse than I remember, I will lower Three's a Crowd again. There is nothing lower than Three's a Crowd. Okay, I'll put that on my freaking epitaph.
You'll put Spike at Your Service over Three's a Crowd.
Maybe that's why they never do anything with Cadence, because the one time they really tried to do something with her after season 3, and it was Three's a Crowd, and they were like, oh, well, it couldn't have been Discord was the problem. They paid attention to, like, the 5 people that thought Cadence was boring, and not the 800 people that thought that Discord was annoying and overbearing. Because there was like 2,000 people that were like, yay, Discord's so wacky. John Delancey loves bronies. He had his own song, which essentially was just a ripoff of Friend Like Me from Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing lower than Three's a Crowd, but this is worse.
Okay.
This is close. I mean, this is close.
I give this a 5.
Ooh!
I can stand this fucking episode. Now, just so that we're leaving on a positive note.
Yo, John, it's already dead, dude. Let me give you another bullet.
Before we end off, for you, the audience, and for you, Mr. Snakeskin, let me blow your fucking mind.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you remember the washouts?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how Scootaloo acted like she had no earthly idea who Lightning Dust was and how crazy she would be?
Yes.
But if you look back to a season earlier, Parental Guidance, she knew about Lightning Dust. She talked about Rainbow Dash in the Wonderbolt Academy to her parents. To Rainbow Dash's parents. How the fuck did she not know about Lightning Dust?
The only thing I could think of was that Rainbow Dash left her out or talked about her, but did not name her. Did she drop Lightning Dust's name?
Yes, she did. She's like, Rainbow Dash had to defeat her arch rival, Lightning Dust, or something like that.
Okay, so maybe Rainbow Dash didn't want Scootaloo to... Wait a minute. That makes no sense. How's this ending on a good note?
No, I'm saying it's blowing your fucking mind.
Oh, it is. Oh, well, something's blown, and it's about to be my gasket.
So hopefully
God, that was
week,
almost a euphemism.
Hopefully next week we'll be able to go to an actual really good episode. A dog and pony show.
Oh, I'm ready. My nips are already stiffening.
Right? We'll just go back. My God. I haven't been fucked like that since grade school. Oh, man. So, that's it from me, John.
And me, the fat guy.
And we'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, Dragon.
Like that old show, Jake and the Fat Man, except in this case, it's John and the Fat Man. But replace Fat Man with Thick Boy. That's me. See ya.